Hello, everybody, and welcome to the investor webinar for SnapWireless today. I'm really excited to introduce you to Mark and Michael from Snap. Thanks so much for coming, guys.
Thanks, Emily. Thanks very much for the introduction. We're very excited to prepare and share everything about the business. I just want to thank everyone, I guess, for joining and all the people that are watching later. Obviously, I know it's taking some time out of your day. It's the middle of the day. People might be working. So we'll try and be conscious of everyone's time as we run through our presentation. But yeah, by way of introduction, my name's Mark. I'm one of the co-founders of SnapWireless, and I'll also let Michael introduce himself.
Yeah, thanks, Ellie. Yeah, so I'm Michael, one of the other co-founders, and yeah, this is our first equity crowdfunding campaign, and so far we're really happy and blown away by the expression of interest so far for our campaign. I think we've had close to just over 800 at the moment, so yeah, very, very good results.
Mm-hmm. So I guess the plan for the webinar is we want to go through a 5-year journey and talk about it in a 20-minute slideshow. So we'll try and get through that as quickly as we can. Some of the things we'll go through will be, what is SnapWireless, how it all started. We'll go through a little bit about the team. We'll also talk a little bit about the future plans and why we're doing equity crowdfunding.
Yep, and at the end, we'll open up for Q&As. So ask as many questions as you want.
If anyone has any questions, please feel free to pop them in the Q&A box and we'll get to those just after the presentation.
Perfect.
Cool.
So we'll just get started. So I guess what is SnapWireless? For those that you haven't heard about us, you may have seen us popping up, in your Facebook feed or TikTok feed. We push quite a lot on advertising, but if you haven't seen the brand or know a lot about it, we look at SnapWireless as a lifestyle tech accessory brand, but we focus specifically on power and wireless charging. Some of the products that we create, they basically range between simple, convenient, and stylish charging accessories. When we started the brand, there was really only one product that we launched with, which was this product here, which is our car charger. We have expanded the range over the last 5 years to now have single device and multi-device chargers. So you have that for home and for office. We also have power banks for when you're out on the go, as well as stylish and protective cases, which can be for your phone or AirPods.
Yeah. So why did we start the brand and how did it all come about? So we'll just give you guys a bit of a rundown. You might have already seen our video before, but Mark and I have actually been friends for over 15 years now. So we went to school together, high school, and after graduating, we both managed to find a job at a Telstra retail store. So this is here, you can see a selfie that we took
Not the best photo, but
quite a number of years ago. And it was also during this time where we started our first business venture, which wasn't Snap. It was just a little side hobby. So it was actually buying and selling old cars. So this one here is one of our first cars, which is quite a stunner, especially. So you can see at the top, that's kind of how it was. We would take it, we would, buff, wash it, polish it, just really fully clean it up and then just list it on Gumtree for sale, make sure it's all okay. And that's kind of the first initial investment that we took. We took every bit of money that we made from that and we used it to start SnapWireless. So that was $6,000 each. So now we come to the problem. So during our drives to a lot of these car places, it would be new locations and even to work, we would have to navigate there, right? So I would always hear Mark complain about how he had messy cables in the car, nowhere to place his phone, especially when he was using maps. He would end up balancing the phone on his lap most of the time. And, that was not only messy, but it was also dangerous as well.
Mm-hmm. And I guess, following on from that, we thought, there must be a better solution. Can we create something that fixes both the problem of not having a place to put your phone while you're driving and removes messy cables completely? So at the time when we're coming up with the idea, I mentioned it to one of the Samsung reps when we were working at Telstra, and she said, "Oh, it's a pretty cool idea. You should patent that." And I think that's when it really clicked. We thought, okay, maybe there's nothing really out there like this or a solution to this problem. So we basically went out and basically cold walked into every single Telstra store, Optus store, Vodafone store, and had a look to see if there's any wireless car chargers. We looked online as well, couldn't find anything. So we decided, maybe we could actually create something ourselves. And I guess that's when we started speaking with suppliers. And basically, we were talking with suppliers, looking online, learn how to sort of build websites. We're just diving into the deep end and just working out as we go. And within a few months, we basically created and launched our very first product, which was the Snap Mount. So as you can see here, this is our first sort of shipment that we got in. So I think we ordered around about 300 to 500 of the Snap Mounts. This was the very first sort of packaging we had. And we were basically just picking and packing the orders out of my parents' place at the very beginning of the business back in 2017.
We actually turned Mark's their dining room into our office and our warehouse. From this photo, you can't really see, but at the back, there's actually a couch where we would come home after working a full day, and then we would work from about 6 to about 12 to 1 a.m. On Snap. And that couch was my power nap couch. So I used to take naps on there. Very startup vibes. Yeah. A bit of a grind for sure back in the day.
Yeah, very, very long hours. So, but yeah, I guess then it sort of fast forwards to, you know, once we had the product, we had them on board. It was like, okay, now how do we sell these? Where can we sort of, you know, push the products? And we leveraged basically our connections in Telstra. It was around the time when Apple was launching their phones with wireless charging. They launched their iPhone 8 and iPhone X or 10 at that time in 2017. It was rumored to have wireless charging in the phone. So I guess us being in that space, we could sort of see that, you know, there's going to be a big boom here. If Apple does anything, like there's always a bit of a spike behind it. Samsung was doing a little bit of wireless charging, but it wasn't really, you know, known around the world or globally recognized. So we thought, you know, let's push hard at this time. And yeah, within basically a month of pitching to our essentially the directors, they took us on board, and the products just started selling like crazy. I guess at that time, all the new iPhones, you needed to get a new charger. It was a new product that had a new feature, so everyone was grabbing wireless chargers. So all the products that we were selling, we basically used those sort of sales metrics and went to the other stores, pitched the other stores, and within 6 months, we were in 18 Telstra franchise stores, which is 15 in SA and 3 in New South Wales. We also then basically reinvested everything we made from the retail stores into growing the online presence.
So fast forward to today, what have we achieved and what does our scorecard look like? So we think we've definitely come a long way. So far, total revenue generated to date is $13.5 million, which as a result, we've been able to sell more than 160,000 units.
Oh, sorry, I clicked off the page there.
160,000 units to more than 89,000 customers across 83 countries. And in the last 2 years alone, we've been able to achieve 490% growth. On top of that, our marketing efforts have been able to achieve over 500 million total marketing impressions worldwide. And another focus for us is our average order value. So as of this month, our new customer average order value sits at around $142. And this is actually quite a significant increase from where we started off the first couple of years, where we were only sitting at about $100. So it's something that we're working pretty hard in the back end, our team's working. And just in general, we're really proud and grateful for the results that we've been able to achieve so far. But we truly think we're only just getting started as well. So diving deep into our why. As you know, we started off by solving a simple problem, which was messy charging cables in the car and nowhere to really put it. By launching the Snap Mount, we think we've essentially solved that problem quite early on. And as a result, we dove deeper into a why and asked ourselves, why does the brand exist? You know, we think we figured it out, and it's more than just selling chargers. So we exist to power go-getters on their journeys to become great, whether you're a creator, explorer, workhorse, or simply striving to be better every single day. We'll be here to empower you. So this also aligns quite well with Mark and I, like ourselves. So we looked at ourselves and what values do we really push and what hold ourselves accountable. You know, we're always trying to push for more or trying to achieve more, trying to go out there and really
achieve great things. Yeah. And we really were kind of like, I guess, the underdogs in a sense. We only had $6,000 each to invest into the business. We just had to grind away and just work it out as we go. And I think that really reflects into sort of our team and even the ambassadors that we bring on board. You know, our team that we have come on board might not necessarily have had all the skill sets at the very beginning, but they had the will and the drive to want to push and become better. And I think that's the same concept with all the ambassadors that we work with. So the photo here is Ozzy. He's a guy based in Adelaide. And we went to Sydney with him just recently. He's just started his new business and it's a content creation business. So our products work perfectly for him, help power his journey, keep his devices charged while he's out and about and shooting content. So I think that's really, it makes a lot more sense of the why behind the brand rather than just selling chargers.
And that leads us into the team.
Yeah. So we'll run through, obviously there's quite a few to run through here. So we'll just give a high level explanation of everyone's roles. So I'll start with myself. So I oversee a lot of the paid acquisition and paid advertising. I do a lot of revenue forecasting and also financial planning and also work closely with Fash, who does operations and logistics.
Yep. My role in the company is more focused around organic growth strategies, product innovation, looking at our future product roadmap and what kind of products make sense for us and aligns with our brand to launch. Also oversee the website development and front end and also the branding.
And we've got Lachlan here. So Lachlan is head of marketing. So he runs through a lot of the paid acquisition and paid advertising. So I work quite closely with Lachlan every day. And he also does a lot of marketing strategy. Next to him, we also have Fash. So he is operations and logistics manager. He does quite a bit of stock forecasting, so preparing for Q4 sale periods and also coming into the new year. Also does process refining and also building new processes. So trying to basically get the existing processes we have as efficient as possible.
Lauren's our social media and content creator. Currently, she's managing all our TikTok organic pages, creating content for both paid and organic channels.
And then we've got on the left here, we have Luca. So Luca has just newly come on board and he's actually going to be our head product design and engineer. So he has over 16 years experience in basically product design and engineering. So the products we're working on at the moment, we're pretty excited about. It's creating products from the ground up and he's being a part of that.
Yep. Geordie, also our social media content coordinator, manages our organic socials and is also overlooking
basically, like public relations.
Public
so
relations
does a lot of like our ambassadors as well. So handles like influencer marketing and sort of public relations. Next to Geordie, we have Marcus. So Marcus is our digital marketing assistant. He handles a lot of the email marketing, SMS marketing, graphics design, and ads planning.
Next we have Derek. So Derek's our head videographer. Essentially any bit of content, video content and also photo content, even our pitch video, it's all done by Derek. So he's an absolute gun at what he does. Next we have Anthony, who is our customer experience specialist. So he handles all the customer inquiries coming in, going out and just improving the customer experience overall. And then finally we have Noban. So Noban's our head web developer, also known as our MVP, our most valuable programmer. He does everything back end and front end of our web development.
And then following on from, I guess, the internal team, we also have advisors on board. So Jay is someone we've been working with over the last few months, and he is an absolute wizard with e-commerce. He has worked with around 200 different e-commerce brands in all different niches. He even works with some of the largest brands in Australia, like LSKD, Culture Kings, and quite a few more. So he's been a great asset to have on board. We also have Simon. So he's our financial advisor. So he has about 20 years experience in the industry and handles all of our end of financial year reports. I guess also handles like a lot of bookkeeping through his firm. So he's been a great asset as well. Lastly, we also have Sean. So Sean Ebert has about 25 years experience in both private and publicly listed companies. So he helps a lot with, I guess, global expansion strategies as well.
Now we're going to the market opportunity. So we think we have a massive market opportunity ahead of us. The global mobile phone accessories market is going up to by 4% each year. In 2021 alone, the market was valued at $273 billion US and is projected to reach $413 billion US by 2030. So we also believe that the future of charging is also going to be wireless. As we go on in the future, we think that a lot of large mobile phone brands will essentially cut the cables as well. And we think we are positioned well to be a dominant player in this space.
So as a bit of a recap, I guess, we've gone through a bit of the story behind the brand, what we're trying to do and why. Well, obviously, you might be thinking that if we've generated, say, 13.5 million in revenue, we've had significant growth while we look to crowdfund. Well, the main reason, I guess, is to kind of just accelerate our growth. We have very, very big plans. We sort of know the path ahead that we want to tackle, but it's just about raising funds and really, really growing the business as quickly as we possibly can.
So especially, so the future plans, especially for the next 12 to 24 months, product development will be a massive focus for us. We actually have a 2-stage product development plan, as you may have seen in our video. So stage 1 is revamping our current range. The photo shown here below is one of our new products, the Power Duo. So you can see here, we've completely redesigned the packaging, both inside and out, even down to the user manual, the way the cables are placed, the way the SnapMag ring is placed as well, and the QR code. So it's very retail ready. It looks nice. And this will roll out through our current range of products as well.
Yeah, I think what we've had in the past was our products were, I guess, predominantly pushing the online space. So they didn't need to necessarily be retail ready. But now we're wanting to revamp this and give a whole new fresh feel and then start to push into that retail space.
And the stage 2 of our product development plan is designing and developing a new product. So this will also be a massive focus for us, and quite honestly is where a lot of our capital will be allocated. So we will start designing products with the latest technology from the ground up. So using our own custom designs, molds, electrical components. This isn't something that we're expecting to do or wanting to do. We've actually already started doing this, and we will have 2 new products rolling out by the end of the year, and many more to come next year. We've also started talking to new leading manufacturers with really advanced manufacturing capabilities to truly take our products to the next level.
So I guess that's a bit on product, which is where a lot of the capital will be allocated to. But I guess market expansion is another massive part for us. So we've broken it down into 4 sort of key pillars. International markets is obviously one of the biggest ways for us to sort of scale out. It's going to broader markets. We're already have a US warehouse basically set up, and we're scaling out the US as well. So we're seeing great results there. We have just recently started setting up some EU targeting through Facebook advertising and TikTok advertising, and the results are quite promising. So depending on how that goes, if we start to really scale that up as well and the performance is great, we may look to even set up a Hong Kong warehouse as well to, I guess, give cheap and basically as fast as possible shipping to the customers in the EU. Next, as I touched on just before, the retail and wholesale distribution is the next area for market expansion. I think there's huge leverage we can have here.
Right now, we're probably predominantly e-commerce focused. We're what, 95% of our sales?
Yeah, at least 95% of our sales is direct to consumer online. We wanted to we basically did a bit of a pullback at the very beginning. We wanted to really go to online, build our own customer base, our online presence and brand equity, and then go back to the retail and wholesale sort of market. And have a bit more control there. So yeah, we're basically going to look to, we've already started these discussions as well with large distributors.
We've actually had distributors reach out to us as well. We've been chatting with them this week, and they already distribute to the likes of Harvey Norman, Officeworks and JB Hi-Fi. So pending discussions and how we go with that area, and that could be really big for us.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess, we've also brought on just recently a New Zealand distributor. So he's already placed some orders, and he's approaching some retailers in New Zealand. So that's already, once again, it's not something we plan to do. It's already in works, and it's taking place. So we'll continue to do that. The next thing we want to do is, I guess, launch into adjacent markets. So rather than just purely wireless charging, as we go back to our why, it's more around powering people's journeys, which is not necessarily just charging devices. It can be other products that kind of allow them to do what they need to do. So we're thinking, in our market, we can do things like travel pouches, laptop sleeves, and then grow into the backpack market, which is a $16 billion market. So there's huge potential in that sort of area, and it aligns well with our brand. Same thing, we can look at our design philosophy, and it's simple, convenient, and stylish. And I think we can really hit the nail on the head with that one. Content creator market is also rapidly growing. It's, people creating tripods that they need for out and about, filming their own selfie content, with TikTok blowing up at the moment. It's a huge market. So things like magnetic tripods that can just go onto the back of your phone, it might be the things that we start to push into. The last one is a little bit more, I guess, detailed. So SnapSpot public wireless charging. Once again, this is something we have already started to roll out. It's not something we just plan to do. And it's essentially, which we'll go to the next slide. We'll put a whole slide together for it because it's a little bit more in depth. So SnapSpot is essentially public wireless charging solution for a variety of different businesses and public locations. So as you can imagine, if you're out and about, a lot of the time your phone's going flat and you haven't brought a charger cable with you. Well, in this scenario, we could have charging locations set up in airports, cafes, restaurants, hotels and motels, universities, hairdressers, bars and clubs. There's a lot of different uses for having our chargers in these sort of locations.
Yeah, absolutely. And we really see a massive opportunity in Australia. There are some brands already seeing success in Europe. So we don't really see anything like that here. So we think we could really take over that space as well. We already have SnapSpot already installed in 3 test locations. We're in Silk Laser, all in Adelaide, all in SA. So in Silk Laser head office, NGS Super head office, and also at a local barber, Apes and Capes. And feedback so far is really great from both the businesses and the customers as well.
We have some further plans for SnapSpot as well, how to monetize it even further. We can't really release that at the moment, but we've got some plans for it.
Cool. So yeah, our ultimate vision is simple. It's really to build a globally recognized Australian tech accessory brand and eventually expand out further than just wireless charging. And today we're really asking you to join that journey with us.
And I guess, yeah, basically finalizing, the reason why you might look to want to join SnapWireless on this journey. I guess number one is we have a proven track record. We've been building the brand for 5 years, and we've proven that there's demand both in Australia, in New Zealand, and in the US, and now even in Europe. So there's definitely demand there for our products, and we've built a community around it, which has really helped to push that even further. Which follows on to the next part, which is established and trusted brand. Building brand equity, it is a tough thing to do. So over 5 years of building that loyal customer base of, like Michael said, around 89,000 customers, it's not something that can be easily replicated. So I think that is one of the big IPs for our brand is our brand equity. As we touched on, market opportunity, it's a huge market, estimated to be around $413 billion US by 2030. That's just the one market of mobile phone accessories, not including the backpack market, SnapSpot, and even content creator market. The last one, obviously, a product roadmap. So that will be one of the biggest things for us. We have a lot of plans, like Michael said, 2 products launching by the end of the year. We have another couple of products that we're looking to launch in early 2023, sorry. So I think that the plan that we have for that is really going to take us to the next level.
And yeah, that's it. So hope you enjoyed the presentation. We really, can't wait to welcome you guys to join us as shareholders in our company. And if you're interested, the offer does launch officially next Tuesday on the 27th of September at 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, I believe.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys. That was fantastic. Super informative. We've had a few questions coming through so far. So one of them is, many new cars now come with built-in wireless charging. What are your plans to tackle this, if any?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have thought a lot about this. A lot of the brand new, like BMWs, Audis, they come with wireless charging. But I think the same issue still is with that. Your phone is usually tucked away underneath like in the cup holder, the center console, or it's in the centerpiece in the front of your car. Whereas if you're trying to use maps and drive, having it in a position that you can easily see, easily answer calls, and once again, not every car does have that. It is something that we will consider, obviously, as the business grows, and in the future, it may be that most cars do roll out with that. But for our feedback that we've had from a lot of our customers is it's still not that convenient. The products are still not, your phone's not really in a position where you can still see your maps. And I don't know about everyone, but myself, I don't like using the inbuilt maps in cars. They seem to be quite slow. It's almost easy to just pull your phone out, put your maps in and set it up and go. So
we've actually, I think it was last year, we went to Sydney on a bit of a work retreat, and we actually hired a car, which actually did have the wireless charging inbuilt. And from our own experience, we actually used it. We found it didn't charge very fast. And second of all, when we placed it in the console, we couldn't see whether it was charging or not because it was so hidden and tucked away. And it ended up that it wasn't actually charging well. So it's definitely something we've considered before. And on top of that, we also are diversifying our range. So it's not just focused on car chargers. We have a range of different products. Yeah,
it's power banks, it's multi-device chargers for home. So it's a broad range. It's not just car chargers.
Yeah, fantastic. So not all new phones have wireless charging capabilities, usually only the high-end phones. Are you expanding the product range to include plug-in adapters for non-wireless charging, or I guess as your name suggested, Snap Wireless? So potentially not, but you guys can answer that, I'm sure.
Yeah, we actually used to have those. So in 2017, that was especially when we had to have it because only the very latest phones, like the new iPhone 8 and iPhone 10 came with wireless charging. So all the other phones that are out there, which most people still had, they couldn't use it. So we actually had a little adapter that would plug into the bottom of the phone and would sit behind your case and it would charge wirelessly. But we basically did away with that. It didn't really fit our design philosophy, which was simple, convenient, and stylish. It didn't look that pretty the way it was on your phone. It wasn't that convenient. Once you had it in there, if you wanted to charge with a cable or anything, you couldn't. So it was, I don't think we will look to do that, considering that pretty much every phone going forward is built with wireless charging. So I feel like we wouldn't do that. It might be going backwards. We're most likely just going to be looking to accommodate all the new phones that are coming out. That market is still a very, very big market.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. So off the back of the cars with wireless charging not being able to access maps, etc., what about cars that have Android Auto or the Apple equivalent?
Yeah, very good question again. We've had a lot of these from customers asking about this. So
it's going forward as well. A lot of cars it's in a weird bit of a process where I think a lot of cars coming out in the last year or so have Android Auto, but then another group of cars actually have wireless CarPlay inbuilt. We're seeing that more and more, which obviously will integrate well with the snap mount.
Yeah, exactly. So if the car has wireless CarPlay, then at least they can still mount our phone, charge wirelessly, and still use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. There are adapters you can buy, and we have considered that. We have considered launching our own adapter, which allows someone to basically plug it in and have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay wirelessly, but the functionality is not the greatest. So we haven't really gone down that path. But once again, it doesn't really fit that design philosophy.
Yeah, fair enough. So we've had a few questions surrounding, people copying your products, copying your IP, and, looking at Amazon right now, there are multiple different brands that offer wireless chargers. What makes your products different, and how do you stand out from other brands that are providing similar products?
Yeah. Once again, great question. I guess the way we sort of look at it is with our design philosophy, simple, convenient, and stylish. I guess that is sort of the way we create our products. And I guess that can be replicated in a way. But I guess with the products that we're sort of creating, and I guess what we're looking to do with capital raise is to create our own molds, our own electrical components from the ground up that is not easily replicated. When doing this, it's quite expensive to do so. So not every person will be able to do this. And once we have these, we've already started to do it with a few of our products. We own the molds behind them, so no one else can actually sell that exact same product. Yes, there are competitors. I think in any market that, there is demand, there will be competitors. But I think sort of diversifying ourselves in a way where the products are unique enough that it's, you can't really copy the exact products, and also just the brand equity. We've been building that over the last five years. So that is a hard thing to compete with. Yeah,
as Mike was saying as well, design is a big element to that. Customers, we've had feedback from customers, and one of the reasons why they choose us, is if you go on Amazon and these websites, marketplaces, you search for wireless chargers, generally, mostly you'll see black chargers. That's it. Whereas with ours, especially the new Power Pack Mini, we've got different colors. It really stands out, and that's kind of our point of difference as well. Although I know the colors are easy for brands to also release, but at the moment, that's definitely one area where we stand out.
Great. So currently, where are you manufacturing your products? Are they made locally or are they made internationally?
Yeah, they're made in China. So Shenzhen in China, and also Dongguan.
Amazing. And currently, how much is it costing you to acquire new customers? Are you doing this through digital advertising, email marketing? What's your strategy?
Yeah, it varies depending on the time of the year. Obviously, during Q4, our CAC is quite strong. During Q1, it's a little bit different. But on average, we're seeing between around about $60 to $80 to acquire a customer. And yeah, like I said, it will fluctuate throughout the year.
Awesome. So what inspires your new products? Is it your customers when they come to you to, see solutions for their problems in terms of charging? Or going forward, will your shareholders be able to inspire your new collections?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. I think so. Up to now, our biggest inspiration for the products that we release is a lot of it, to be honest, comes from ourselves. It's like, what do we want to see? What would we want to use personally? And that since day one has been the reason why we started with the snap mount, and then also the different styles and colors that we launched. And then most recently, it's been a lot to do with customer feedback, having surveys. We run a lot of surveys in the background. What do customers want to see from us? Even within our Facebook groups, just really asking our community, what do you want to see for us to launch? And then we'll take that suggestions on board, and then we will look to implement that, especially in the next couple of years going ahead.
Yeah, definitely. No, 100%.
Great. Can you indicate what sort of gross or net profit the company has earned in the last financial year, or is that something that will just be included in your offer document next week?
Yeah, that'll be in the offer document, but I can touch on that a little bit. So in terms of the actual cost of goods of the product, we aim to try and be around about anywhere between 75 to 85% just on the cost of goods. When you consider, the actual landed costs and the transaction fees, so the total cost of sales, we're sort of sitting around about that 60% mark. So between 55 to 60 as a gross profit level on that point. But yeah, this will release in our offer document.
Great. So I think that might answer one of the other questions that's just come through. What are the unit economics like, and how much does it cost you to produce the different products? So I assume that will be covered a little bit in your offer document.
Yeah, exactly.
Economies of scale and kind of like the fixed expenses as we scale. Yeah. So
right now, I think our actual marketing efficiency ratio sort of runs at around about, I think for the last financial year, it was around about 40%, which is fine for us at the moment. We're in this growth phase where we're not really looking to bring that marketing efficiency down. If we were to bring that down, we would see it as almost missed opportunity, that we should be spending to a point where we're kind of running at that break-even point to really grow the company. And we will look to obviously change that as the company grows in the coming years. But right now, it's really just, we're in this growth phase. So we're really just trying to push as much advertising as possible, get our name out there and build our customer base.
Terrific. So what are the perks and benefits for being a shareholder with SnapWireless going to be? Are you going to be offering investor rewards when you launch your offer?
Yep. So you get to be part of our amazing Snap team. On top of that as well, now we definitely do have a bunch of investor rewards, which will be released in the offer document. I can definitely touch on some of that now as well. I've actually got it in front of me. But for example, one of our tiers, you'll get early product access, a lifetime discount. There'll be gift cards as well. And you'll get a SnapMag car bundle. So that includes our Snap mount and a phone case. And then on top of that, you'll also receive a Power Pack Universal, which is one of our unreleased products. So that will be a brand new release product, which is quite special. And then lastly, there will be exclusive access to product development input. So
yeah, and I guess that comes back to the point previously, what we're trying to, I guess when we're trying to create our products, rather than just also talking to our customers as well, we also want to have, I guess, with this investment group, we'll look to try and create a Facebook group, depending on the tiers and whatnot, and have everyone basically have their input. So we might even pick like a small source of 100 people, 200 people with a new product, ship the products out, get some feedback and create products from there.
Yeah, amazing. So this one's not a question, but someone has said that they're really, really happy with the technical support and product replacement. Great customer interaction. So well done, guys.
Right. Always good to hear.
We'll
pass it on to Anthony.
That's super, super lovely. So in terms of communicating with your investors moving forward, what would that look like?
Yeah, so we'll be doing quarterly updates. Basically, we'll have a bit of a rundown of the things that have happened within the business over the last, say, 3 months. We'll also do an annual update as well, like to summarize the entire year.
Like the products we've launched, basically, going saying what we want to achieve in that quarter and then updating on what we have done in that quarter.
Yeah.
And then there will be email communications as well as a Facebook group.
And I think we'll also just ask the shareholders, what are you wanting to see from us? And obviously there might be some details that we can or can't release, but we'll do our best to release as much information as we can to keep everyone, coming along with the journey as well.
Terrific. And you mentioned earlier that you were looking to expand into international markets. Which markets are you specifically looking to expand into?
Yeah, definitely. So I guess going on with the US fulfillment center, we're actually just changing fulfillment centers at the moment to have one that's a little bit more cost effective. And we're going to start pushing out into Canada as well. They have a little bit cheaper international rates shipping to Canada. So that will be one that will actually change our targeting and also push for that market. Where, as I mentioned earlier on, we are now pushing into EU markets. So we're going pretty broad on our targeting at the moment with that. So Facebook is a pretty powerful tool in the way where you can just sort of pick EU countries, target all of them and sort of see which countries we're seeing the best results in. And then we can start to narrow down our targeting, might start working with brand influencers in those regions. So some of the countries we're seeing perform quite well at the moment is Germany. I believe Switzerland was performing quite well. So it's really just honing in on which ones are getting the best performance, and then we'll double down our efforts there.
Awesome. So are you looking at expanding into more retail spaces such as Target, Kmart, etc., or are you looking at going for larger retail spaces with a premium offering?
Yeah, something we're still discussing. We're speaking with our distributors that we're in touch with now. They've actually advised us that our products, that in their opinion, are more suitable for the likes of Officeworks and JB Hi-Fi. So
just that higher price point, I think.
Just a little bit of that premium price point. So that's something that we'll discuss more with the distributor.
Yeah, and I think the good thing is our margins. Some of these big retailers do take quite a large margin. However, our margins are strong enough for us to be able to sell in these places. So I'm not sure if we would push down, the big W that came up. I guess never say never, but, it's not something that we do have on our roadmap at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely fair enough. So post-raise, what does the next 12 months look like for you guys?
Yeah, 12 months is going to be product development. That's going to be the main focus, product development, and really just increasing our inventory levels to scale internationally. Those are probably the two main focuses. While also still working on in the background is things like SnapSpot. So that, like we mentioned earlier on, that has been rolled out. So it's a matter of now just having the best go-to-market strategy for that and then implementing that over the next, say, 12 to 24 months. But 12 months is definitely product and international expansion.
Awesome. So if anybody online today would want to buy your products to try it out before investing, where can they purchase them from?
Yeah, sure. Just from our, well, it depends where they're based. If it's Australia, then it's just our AU website, which is www.snapwireless.com.au. We also have a US store and a UK domain as well, which is just .co.uk or .us.
Amazing. So given that the current global supply of IT and OT items, is this going to be an issue for you at the moment as far as getting the components for your products?
No, I think right now we haven't really been experiencing any issues. We did have a little bit of a delay during COVID times with just sourcing the components, getting the products manufactured. But that was, I guess, it was happening to everyone almost, and that really only happened for a couple of months. Right now, we're not really seeing any delays in our products getting created or manufactured. No, it's been pretty smooth sailings, to be honest, at the moment.
Awesome. Well, it looks like we've answered all of the questions for today, but if anybody does have any questions at all, you're most welcome to reach out to the team at Snap. I know they're very, very friendly, so they'll be absolutely willing to give you the time of day and answer any questions you might have before the offer goes live next week. So please don't hesitate to reach out. And if you've got any questions surrounding the Birchal platform, if it's confusing in any way, our customer service is always on hand to help you if you need anything at all. Oh, I've got one more. So I've got how long will the offer last and what is the closing date for investors? So Randy, that will go for 2 weeks. You'll get an email and a text as soon as it goes live. So you'll be aware when it goes, and anyone who expresses interest in the campaign will get first dibs on shares as well. So if you haven't already, jump on the SnapWireless profile on the Birchal platform, express your interest, and you'll be the first to know when the offer goes live. Fantastic. If that's all we've got for today, I'd like to say thank you so much for you guys. It was absolutely fantastic having you online today.
Thanks very much. I really appreciate it. It's great to share more about the brand, and we can't wait to see how the campaign goes.
Amazing. Thanks, guys. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks very much.